Yo, what's going on? This is your boy Tim Nicholas, and we got my girl Miss Tam here. What's up, Tam?
What's up, Tim? How you doing?
Doing-
Good. What's up, y'all? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Tim and Tam Talks. I just love that. This flows well. But I want to get into some. We want to get into some random topics. So much has been going on this past week for us to dive into, Tim. And if you don't mind, if I jump it off with what happened yesterday at the church.
Well, and before you jump it all off with all of that, I just want to say Happy Memorial Day to everybody. We definitely wish you guys a happy Memorial Day. Thank you very much to all the soldiers, veterans who have served for our country. So thank you so much. Shout out to y'all. Let's go.
Thank y'all for what y'all do. Thank you for your service. Everybody that's lost their lives. We appreciate your work and what you've done to protect us. All right, so let's get into what happened yesterday, Tim. Are you familiar with the whole Sarah Jakes situation that happened at the Potter's house yesterday?
I am. This lady had her wig taken off. For sure.
Taken off. So I'm a little upset. Let me tell you why I'm upset. Because I talked about this on my YouTube channel, and I talked about how Sarah took her wig off and she removed the distractions. And I feel like the sermon was so much better once she removed the distraction, and the ability to be so vulnerable and transparent in the church is what's missing. Only to wake up this morning and find out that my video was flagged that she wanted to, or somebody on her team wanted to remove my video. And I feel like it took away from the message. It took away from the message. And in one area you're saying it doesn't matter if I have this hair or these clothes or the shoes or any of that. I don't really care about my image as long as God's message is getting through. That's all that I care about. And then when I woke up this morning, it sounded like somebody on her team. I'm not going to say it's her because I love Sarah and I love her ministry. I'm going to say I don't want to believe it's her. Right. Somebody on her team flagged my video. Somebody on her team flagged my video because clearly maybe it is about the image. And I don't want to believe that. And I feel like, Tim and I, we're both Christian. I don't want to speak for you, Tim, but I'm speaking for you. We're both Christian. We're both Christian. And I think in the body of Christ, we're desperately looking for somebody to strip themselves down and be bare about who is supposedly residing inside of them. And I was just a little upset. I'm not going to talk too much about it. But I'm a little upset about it. Just upset.
Well, at the end of the day, Tam, it was a great sermon. It was a great sermon. She showed a side of vulnerability that a lot of people needed to see and needed to hear about. So I know that sermon was on point. You're right. Overall, being a Christian, you being a Christian woman, I'm a Christian man. We look for authenticity in today's age, and that's just really important. If people in the body of Christ would just be a little bit more transparent and honest about who they are, what they stand for, and also even some of the struggles that they've had. I just really believe that could be really beneficial for us, and that takes away the essence of what we call the hypocrisy type of people. It was, life has to be a particular kind of way. You got to do everything this particular kind of way, and if you don't, you really aren't truly a Christian. And so, I really enjoyed her sermon, and I think it was really dope. So I think it was more positive that came out of it than negative for sure.
Yeah. So Sarah Jakes is somebody on her team. If y'all ever see this, don't worry about the optics. That video, the comments that I got for the video that somebody flagged. Okay.
Tam, you gotta get over that.
I'm trying. It was such a good video. The video. It was such a good video. All right, I'm over it.
Sis is mad about that video. Okay.
Now y'all like my video because I spoke highly of Sarah in the video. I spoke very highly of her. Wig on, wig off, girl. You did your job. You did your part. I just hate that somebody flagged my video.
Right. Absolutely, no doubt. Well, we got some hot topics. Definitely some hot topics from over the past few days. It's been a lot going on, and I'm pretty sure that you guys have seen one of the stories that came out over the past week regarding Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade with their shared 50-50 marital arrangement. Gabrielle Union is, she is a A-list celebrity, and Dwayne Wade, he's a former NBA champion. He's now part owner of the Utah Jazz. I mean, and so he made over $200+ million in his career. And so, Tam, what do we got, for the listeners and viewers regarding Mr. Dwayne Wade and his lovely wife, Gabrielle Union?
So we're gonna watch this video because let's unpack the video. I don't want to speak out of turn. So let's unpack the video on what Gabrielle said out her own mouth. You guys watch it with us so we can get into it together.
I think I just have more responsibilities, for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh God, that movie didn't open, well, what does that mean? Am I going to have enough to hold everybody up? And everyone's like, it's coming, like, calm down. And I'm trying to find peace in the journey, not using my anxiety and scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard. It's weird to say I'm head of household because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, you better work. You gonna sleep in? Somebody might not eat. Come on, you gotta work. And
so it started to sound like Ike Turner at the end of that. I got confused. Am I going first, Tim?
Sure, ladies first.
All right, so let me unpack this really quick. The first thing I heard Gabrielle say was that she's stressed about being able to take care of her bills, the responsibility in life. And I'm going to say, why? Why are you married having the same anxieties that a single person would have? That part to me throws me all the way off, completely off. First and foremost, because I was looking up the net worth as that video was playing. So it says that Gabrielle Union is worth $40 million. It says that Dwayne Wade is worth $170 million. So there's a huge gap in terms of like why your weight is the same as your husband's. And I don't understand it. I know you guys are probably tired of us talking about this 50-50 thing, but I really want to put it in context when it comes to that. If you know your wife makes less money than you, why are you making her carry the same weight? Not only that, carry your child. And she's carrying the same amount of weight that you carry. That to me doesn't make any sense. And being a man, why would you want to position your wife to want to carry the same thing you're carrying? That's just my take on it.
I just am in a state of shock with listening to this. First of all, it's crazy to me. I'm a traditional man, so I don't agree with the whole 50-50 conversation, period. There's been talks that Gabrielle Union is the one that wears the pants in her house. That's been a lot of talk. And thinking about it, when you see Dwayne Wade kind of doing some of the things that he does, from that standpoint, that is a jam-packed conversation that we probably would need hours to go through when it comes to their dynamic. But it's their marriage. We respect it either way. Biblically, it says man is supposed to provide for his family. It's pretty black and white to me. I understand that she's made over 40 million and he's made over 170+ million dollars. And so these are all rich people problems. Y'all got rich people problems, because from a traditional standpoint, if it was a man and a woman from a middle-class family, I'm pretty sure if you were doing it from a traditional sense, the man would take care of most, if not all, the bills. and the woman would maybe at the most take care of the ancillary bills around the house. Who knows, But to go 50-50 on the mortgage, the cars, the everything, to me, I just never agreed with that, period. And so if you have a huge financial disparity with your wife where you've made over 100+ million more, there should not be a reason. There should be no reason that y'all are doing 50-50. There should be Dwayne Wade taking care of his family in that way. I just believe that from a traditional standpoint, that's how it should be. That's just me. So
yeah, and it boggles me, Tim. I wonder how he feels to hear at this level. She still is freaking out and has this anxiety that I gotta work. I gotta make sure this is happening. Right? Like one would think, I'm not a man, but I would like to think, because I'm surrounded by men who want to give their wives a sense of ease and comfort in knowing that I got it. Like most men around me, they have that mentality of like, no, I got it. You don't have to worry. Like, you don't have to worry about that, babe. I got it. So for her to be on that level and still have the same anxieties that most people in terms of class, I'm gonna say in terms of class, have, that's a bit scary to me. But you know, she likes it. I love it. If she likes it, I love it.
yeah, I think she likes it, honestly.
It sounds like it's what she wants.
Gabrielle seemed like she likes, number one, she likes the attention. She's no longer an A-list celebrity. I'm sorry to first say it. She's a B-list now. Two Can Play That Game, Deliver Us from Evil, great movies in the early 2000s, but that was over 20 years ago. So she's more of a B-list celebrity, but where she's put a lot of energy is into her family. Mm-hmm. And just from the public perception, she definitely wears the pants in that family. And so if she has those anxieties, like it's that's how y'all have it.
Yeah.
If it's a problem, if you're talking about if it's a problem, like you're publicly saying this, that should stay in house. Why is that even talked about? Like sometimes with celebrities, and I think I said on a previous episode, Tam, I just really wish that we didn't know half of their personal life as if we know it now.
Yeah.
I just wish we did. That's just me.
Yeah. That's so odd. I'm gonna wrap it up, but it's just so odd that she used the scare. She's like, yeah, I don't want to have scarcity mindset, but she does. She's operating like they literally have to put their money together to pay the bills.
Oh, yeah, y'all got middle class.
You got no more, girl. You good?
No sympathy for them.
Girl,
no sympathy.
You's free now.
Well, since we are on the subject of money and celebrities, there is another topic that we want to talk about. 50 Cent came out and he talked about how his grandfather would always give his grandmother his entire check to pay for everything, to take care of everything in the household and things like that. And there was a question that came out: is that the right thing to do? Is that the right thing to do? Should a man be giving his woman his entire check, right? Well, that's how it worked back in the day, right? And some of those old school traditions still work today. I believe that if you are with someone who you trust with your entire life, you should be able to trust that person with your finances too. So it, like, once again, that's a traditional way of doing it, but every relationship works differently. So
yeah, I saw the article. So this is the article Tim's talking about right here, guys. So basically, 50 Cent went on some, I guess it was a podcast, and he was talking about how his grandfather was giving the grandmother his check, and 50 Cent used to kind of side eye his granddad, like, okay, why are you giving her your whole check? And there was a story behind it. So basically, he was saying he was giving the grandma the check so she could see what they actually had coming into the house. Now, this is also very traditional when you think about who's paying for the bills, right? So it does segue to him. So basically, he was giving her the check so she could see what they had. So she wouldn't be asking for crazy things, knowing that they didn't have enough money to provide that. So in the context of, do I feel like the husband should give the wife the check? That would be a phenomenal thing. Okay, you're out here watching. But I don't think it's necessary if you have a partner that is open and transparent and that is honest. I think a lot of people kind of did the more modern thing back in the day, which is like just have a joint account, everything going to the joint account, and we just divvy up the bills and all of the things that way. So a lot of people have done it the more, not the physical check, but the direct deposit into one account. But I think if you're in a situation where maybe things are a little tight at home and maybe your spouse is a bit frustrated, maybe they want some of the nicer things and they're wondering why you're telling them no, I think it would be a good way to allow them to kind of physically see what can and cannot be done, right? And give them maybe even a little bit more motivation. Maybe that's a situation where you need to go 50-50. Give them a little bit more motivation. Say, hey, I'm already working 2 jobs and we still need money coming into the house. Like, I want to do these nice things for you, but I cannot do it just kind of based on what we have right here. So I think you have to look at your situation and be realistic. It doesn't work on every level. No, I don't think it will work on every level where you bring somebody your paycheck. But I think where it makes sense to kind of release or relieve frustration in the home, I think that's probably necessary for somebody to see what is and what is not.
I agree. Everyone's situation is different. Back in the day, there would be a joint account, and you just pull from that. Um, that doesn't. I don't think in modern days today that works as effective. I think it's cool to still have a joint account. That you should know what's going in and out and things like that. But I do believe that you should have separate accounts to some degree. I do. I believe it. My wife and I, we have separate accounts, but we also have a joint account, um, and it works. It works for us. We do not have arguments over money. I mean, now of course, being newly married, we have had to have conversations about how we spend money, how we budget, and all those other things, of course. But we also know, like, yeah, we'll have this joint account. We'll pay our bills. We do what we got to do. You have your money to still take care of yourself, the things that you need to take care of for you. Go ahead, no problem. And the same thing for me. And it's really not a lot of questions asked from that standpoint. We will sit down, talk about our budget and the things that we spend and things that we could do better on. But I say all that to say, when you have a level of transparency with that person, then it honestly doesn't really matter where the money is coming from. Because at the end of the day, I believe I might be making, the money, she might be making money and everything else. But at the end of the day, when for the two of us, two becoming one, it don't matter who make the money. It's all ours at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. It's just how we want to allocate our money. Yeah. And so when we are less selfish and we are very selfless about how the money is spent, how we divvy up things and how we take care of things, you won't have a lot of those arguments and issues, and the divorce rate will actually go down, because now we're talking about the main things that people walk away from marriage from are communication, sex, and finances. That's like a known thing. And so finances, if that's not a discussion, most of the time it's because you're communicating about those things. So it's already a good look. So we just got to be mindful of those things. I wouldn't have a problem giving my wife my entire check, because if I trust her with my life, I trust her with my money too. So, man, I don't have a problem with it. I wouldn't have a problem with it. This whole thing about 50-50, what do you bring to the table? Just stop. Just stop saying those types of things and all this 50-50 crap. Just stop. Okay? If you're a real man, stop. Do what you got to do and handle what you got to handle with these women, and stop this whole thing about 50-50. It's old. Just stop.
I have to pause. I want somebody to receive that word from the Lord.
No, as a man, I get frustrated hearing it. I hear that so many times, even from men. They like, yo, you don't do 50-50 with your woman? No, I don't. And yo, she could take the check. I'm good. I'm good. You know, now of course you got to work up to that. You don't just automatically trust a person with that. They gotta earn that trust. But if you earned it, why should it even matter? Y'all stop talking about this 50-50 crap. It is so annoying hearing a modern man talk about 50-50. That is not women. If y'all hear a dude talk about 50-50 or talking about what do you bring to the table, those main two things, you hear a dude say that, run, B. Get out of there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sip my adult drink on that.
Look, I forgot to go get my liquor. All right, so we have the next topic, and this one you brought to the table. It's a little drama filled, guys. We don't do drama in our real lives, but we will talk about it. So, we're talking about the whole Bria Anderson, and is her name Deja Lene?
Deja Lene, yes.
Yeah. And what's the baseball player? His name's Tim. I don't know. I guess it's
Anderson. So Tim Anderson, he plays for the Chicago White Sox. Tim Anderson is married to Bria Anderson. Well, apparently, Tim also he has a situationship, or as Jada commonly said, an entanglement. And so he's in an entanglement with Deja Lene, and I believe that Deja is currently pregnant with Tim's baby. But Deja Lene has come out and she has said that Tim is currently not with Bria. They aren't together. This arrangement has been set up from a long time ago. But in this photo you see on Tim's glove, on his ring finger glove, he has his wife's name, Bria, stitched on his glove. And so a lot to unpack here. I mean, this is just an insane story. What was your thoughts when you first saw this story about him having a wife and a baby mom separately?
It's just so much polygamy going on these days. Hard to keep up with monogamy, polygamy. I just don't really know, and it looked like, in my opinion. So the first thing I said to you was like, Tim's mighty quiet while these women are on social media going back and forth. And honestly, I was embarrassed for the both of them. I was embarrassed. I can't imagine being married and having a man have another child with somebody else, and then this person is attacking me while I'm still married to you. I can't imagine that, nor can I imagine being beside you, wanting for the wife to dump her husband with the hopes that he would be with me, because she's the one that's standing in the way while we can't be a big happy family. Like, it for me, it's just like embarrassing to watch. Embarrassing to not have a husband to cover you and tell whoever to cut whatever out while you're married. Yeah, I was just embarrassed, Tim. What were your thoughts?
My initial thought was, this been going on for how long now? I mean, this is nothing new, B. Like, this is the same thing. It's just same thing, different day.
Yeah.
This happens all the time. And you and I had conversations previously about this, and you even said, like, he's sitting there with his third girlfriend right now, watching this all unfold. He watching it unfold between his wife and Deja Lene. And he laid up in a hotel room with somebody else, just looking at them, just shaking his head like, look at these crazy.
Yo, they wild.
Yo, you see this, they wilding out. And so this has been going on since the beginning of time. And so, it happens in everyday life. It just, when a celebrity does it, then it gets all the attention. But there's nothing new to this. I am very embarrassed for all parties involved, from Tim, Bria, and Deja Lene. I'm embarrassed for all of them, because this is all messy. Her coming out, talking about the wife coming back, talking to the baby moms. He just quiet. He looks the worst out of all of them. to not even come out and say anything. But on top of that, it all starts with the man. If you go and have dirt, and let me not encourage that, but if you go and have dirt or any situation, yo, get your women in check and just get them in check. You shouldn't even be having this problem in the middle of a season. You shouldn't even be having this. I have so many thoughts about it, but that's where I'm gonna leave it.
Yikes. So you had the last topic, Tim, and we called it "Call Me Daddy."
Call me daddy. Real quick, my boy John Anthony. What's good, John?
Hey, John.
Appreciate you joining again, brother. He says he's using his status, talking about Tim Anderson, he's using his status to manipulate the relationships. Pro athletes have been doing this forever. I agree.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly agree. They've been doing this forever. What's new? When you got money, power, the women follow after that. It's easy. It is super easy after that. So what's happening with Tim has been happening since the beginning of time. Yeah. Unfortunate, but it is what it is.
You got something you want to tell us?
Who?
Tim Anderson, y'all.
Oh, I hope
what they say about Tim's.
Come, hey, I hope he come out and say something. But yeah, this last one, "Call Me Daddy." Now that I know that sounds a little like, wait, what?
Y'all know what?
Nothing like that. But we're gonna show this clip about what this man said about his stepchildren calling him daddy.
House because I'm an electrician. What are you bringing to the table as a woman? What do you realistically do other than have sex? Every lady here, I want to know, what are you bringing to the table for the man that takes care of you?
Here we go, and take notes. So what I do is I make that house that you pay for, that you pay that mortgage for, I make it at home. I cook the meals. I'm washing clothes.
That's $100 a week.
Don't play with me.
I can get it made.
No. You see that's where you're going wrong. It costs more than $100 a week to have somebody cook for you, to have somebody clean up after you. Because a lot of times you men become our children. All right. We dress y'all. We pick out y'all clothes. We cook for y'all.
The men complain that it started off that way, but then they start slacking. They don't do what they don't keep up with that same type of energy, but they expect the man to keep that same energy of continue on providing in that aspect. So I'm hearing the complaints. So you can speak for yourself, but a lot of women say, I don't want to cook.
Let's backtrack. I make a house a home. Okay. All the furniture you get to come home and lay up on, I pick that shit out. That's right. You know what I'm saying? When the paper towels go away in the bathroom, you know who goes to the store to get them? You know who gets on Amazon to get that? All the shit that you don't even think about that makes your life easier, I do that. You
understand? Let me ask you a question, right? Everything that you're telling me can be bought. Guess what? I can have an assistant order me paper towels and toilet paper and groceries on Amazon. Actually, I get Whole Foods delivered to my house weekly. It's a subscription. I get meal preps every week. My meal preps is $120 and I get 3 meals a day. I make myself my own breakfast. That's 4 square meals. I have another cleaning lady. She charges me $100 a week to come clean. You are only saving me $600. What are you bringing outside? Listen, if you ask a man, what is he bringing to the table? I'm bringing a house to the table.
That I can also pay for myself.
Okay, but you're not.
But I can.
But you're not.
But I can.
But you're not. And you're not willing to.
That's the point. I was taking care of myself before I was married.
And then you got married and stopped taking care of yourself.
I have multiple mortgages. I still take care of shit. That's the thing.
Listen, I'm not saying you can't make money. What I'm saying is what you're bringing to this table is a service that can be paid for versus what a man has to bring to the table for you.
Okay, so I love what it said, where it said we have to ban people, pretty much who just talk craziness. And so some of this, so really the clip is a deeper clip, and so it didn't really get to the part about "Call Me Daddy," right? We can get into that a little bit more, but y'all just heard that this dude just straight dogged this lady about just saying, man, you're only worth $100 to me, pretty much. $600 a month is pretty much what you really are worth to me. That's what I heard. That's part of what I heard. What you hear?
I heard that he doesn't know the value of a good woman. That's what I heard. He minimized a woman's worth to a housekeeper, maid, or I just heard that he doesn't know the value of a woman, and that's a very scary place to be when you don't know the value. Like as a woman, if I don't know the value of a man, and as a man, if you don't know the value of a woman, that's a very, very scary place to be. And I feel like a lot of people are in that space, which is why society is the way that it is today.
I agree.
Y'all see, I had while the video, I had to go get a drink. It drove me.
It drove you to drink.
This episode is brought to you by Smith.
Oh my gosh! Listen, you were so right. This guy was horrible. He was absolutely horrible. And hey, y'all see, I got my Eagle shirt on, so you know where I'm from. Shout out to Philly. He sound whatever. I see rolling eyes. We ain't gonna get into that. But he sound like him and Ray sounded like they from Philly, and that
is this y'all representative?
This ain't no.
Representative.
No, it's not. They are not good representations of the city of Philadelphia, if that's where they from. I would just think that they don't value what women bring to the table.
Did he ask the question like, "What do you bring to the table? Like, what does a woman bring to the table?" Y'all
listen. Hold out, y'all. I gotta say it. Anytime a dude goes on camera and wears a freaking headband, don't trust that dude. Okay, don't trust him, because
Carmelo Anthony don't Tim don't trust you.
Don't trust him, please. If he wearing a headband on camera, don't trust that dude. I just didn't like anything he said. I don't like anything he said. He really devalued women when it comes to what they do as far as the house. And man, even I just know like y'all bring a lot of value to the table. Women bring a lot of value to the table, even if she is a stay-at-home mom, if she's a stay-at-home wife, if she works and still takes care of the home, if she's a single parent, if she's single and she still got to take care of her responsibilities. Like there's still high value in every type of woman. And just because you're not paying for the house, if that's the choice that y'all made, it still doesn't devalue her in any way. Once again, this generation is based on what do you bring to the table, 50-50, what's your overall value. You should be able to see that as you dating that person, and it shouldn't even be a question about that. And so Rico, you're gonna struggle finding a good woman, sir.
Yeah. I'm gonna look. Let me rebuttal before we get into, because I want to get into call me daddy. I'm gonna rebuttal with that because Tim and I had a conversation on the phone this past week when we were talking about how much we both hate this 50-50 thing, and I was telling him it would forever be hard for a good woman to answer that question. And if you're a good man, let me tell you why. If you are somebody who just prefers to ask that question, this is not going to be for you. But for a good man to ask a woman that, he should know that a good woman won't be able to answer that appropriately until she knows who you are. And that's going to require some time. It's going to require courting. It's going to require dating. And that may change over the course of your relationship, what she should be able to present to the table. So a woman may not know what she needs to be for you until she's with you, right? Mm-hmm. So she'll be able to identify your weaknesses and your strengths. So in the places where you are weak, that might be her strength. So she might need to be your personal assistant, or somebody to help you be organized, or somebody that will cook, or somebody that will multiply the things that you give her. A woman will never know what she needs to be for you and what she is for you. She may not be with her ex. She may not have been that version of herself with her ex or with the next guy if you're not the ideal person. But to ask that question, expecting to get this idea of perfect answer from a woman, I feel like it's idiotic. I feel like it's just stupid, because a woman will not know the value that she has in your life until she's connected to you. And there's something about purpose and connection that you only know when you're in alignment with that person. You won't know it beforehand. So that's all
I agree. I totally agree. I think it's definitely bad news when we gotta have these conversations about what do you bring to the table. I'm just tired of
it. All right, look, bring it home. Let's get into this Call Me Daddy. So tell me about this situation.
Well, I mean, it really was the same guy talking the same as, but it was in a deeper conversation. But Rico, he pretty much said that if he's raising a child that's not his, they need to automatically call him daddy. Automatically. I don't agree with that under any circumstance. And I have bonus kids. Okay, I'm proud to say that I have 3 bonus kids. Love them to death, and I love them as my own. No question about it. They asked me if they could call me dad. They asked me. And I said, as long as it's okay with your mom and your biological father, it is fine with me. Because the last thing I ever wanted to do is step on anyone's toes or make it seem like I'm taking their place. Because honestly, I've had that happen to me with my 13-year-old daughter. You know, when I had a 13-year-old daughter out of wedlock years ago, and my ex ended up getting remarried and things like that, and automatically, just out of the relationship that her and I had, she automatically said, no, you're going to call the other person dad. And it made me feel like I was Uncle Dad. And so I never would want another parent to feel what I felt, you know, feeling marginalized as a parent. So I wouldn't do that automatically. And so once again, it's coming from a source that really shouldn't have a mic in his doggone face. Y'all need to take mics away from people that just don't have anything smart to say. If you don't have common sense, that dude don't have no common sense, because you don't force a child to call you something based on you taking care of them. You should be taking care of them because how you feel about them out of the goodness of your heart, not necessarily because of, you know, I'm entitled for you to call me something. That's the problem. You know, like, why do you feel entitled about anything?
Yeah, it's so weird. I mean, so I'm divorced, and I think it would be weird for me to force my kids to call the person I'm with dad. There's something about that. And if whoever I talk to, whoever I had to talk to, I had kids, right? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't pressure them to call me mom. It doesn't matter if the other parent is active or not. I just feel like that's the kid's choice. And I feel like it goes with their comfortability in being able, for you to be able to show up as such. And I think a lot of people miss the fact that title holds so much responsibility and so much weight. And even if you feel like you are doing the part, they have to feel it. Like, that kid is going to naturally want to title you as either Mr. or Mrs. whoever, or mom or dad, but that's going to be based on their comfortability. And there's really nothing you can force to make them feel any differently. And I think that the guy that said that is absolutely out of pocket. I feel like that's more ego than love, and really it should be out of love.
I think what social media is doing, Sam, it's exposing the real and the fake. That's what it's really doing. And so we get to see real people like us talk about things that are unpopular, that might ruffle some feathers, but it's real and authentic, right? You also have people who out here, you see a lot of fake social media stuff going on, and you only have people like that who seem like they only say things just to get the likes, just to get the attention, and just have the spotlight on themselves. And so we have to be very discerning on what we hear as people, because if we don't, then we think that this recycled toxic way of thinking should be the way that life should be, and the way that life should go, and that's not the case. You have to be very discerning on what people say and see if it aligns with God's word, with your spirit, the Holy Spirit. You got to understand those things first, because if I'm just saying anything, spewing off anything, the wrong person may think that it's right, and it's not. So stuff like that, it does irk me a little bit. Hearing dudes like that say, "Oh, you gonna call me dad?" No, it's a lot of responsibility to that, and you know, these kids, you in their life for a lifetime, so you gonna have to really step up to the plate. So I don't really rock with anything he said. He can kick rocks on that.
Yeah. I like what John said. John says, I have a stepdad that I call him by his name, but I introduced him as my dad. He said, I feel it's out of respect and love. I believe when children are young and develop a relationship with a stepdad, it's out of love to call them dad. And that's basically, I agree with that, John. Like, I feel like it has to come from a place of love and not just you're forcing this relationship. And I feel like the way that he's trying to do it, you're saying, oh, you got to call me daddy. I pay the bills. Like, that doesn't make you a dad.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. And I have a stepfather too. And I've had a really good, really decent relationship with my stepdad over the years. But I still call him by his first name. I call him Mr. B, Mr. Bobby. Simple as that. But I got nothing but love for him. And that's what we established when I was a teenager. And it doesn't mean that I love him any less, that I don't have respect for him any less. He just never made it like, oh, you gotta call me that. Never. But I got nothing but love and respect for him. And so it's just all about like how the kid wants to do it, how they want to do it, and also what makes them comfortable. That's what's most important. Because when you're talking about stepchildren and bonus kids, you got to go at their pace. So that's where he already messed up, is that you got to allow a child who is not biologically yours, where the relationship is not natural. You got to make sure that you go at their pace. And then once you get established a relationship, then y'all can really start to kind of talk and dictate how the relationship is going to go together. But outside of I'm taking care of you, the respect and all those things should already be there. But all those other intricacies, what should they call me? What should we do? How we going to spend time together? How we going to how do I learn about your shared hobbies? Everything. You got to go at their pace, man. So I ain't like what he said at all. People, I'm telling you, please just be careful with what you hear out here. Seriously.
Be careful who you marry as well. Be careful who you marry, who your kids got to deal with, not just you. Especially, it's interesting when you have kids. You got to figure out that dynamic within yourself, and then also where your kids feel comfortable. It's not just you that has to be comfortable and loved. Your kids have to be there as well. Then it has to be a safe environment that doesn't feel forced for everybody. And so, how old were you when you were introduced to your stepdad, Tim?
I was 17 when I was.
You're older.
I'm 37 now, so that tells you. I've known him over 20 years at this point, and got nothing but love for him. Respect him. And respect him as my stepdad and bonus dad and all that other stuff. I got nothing but love for him, but he never forced me to have a relationship with him. He let me, and I was older too, so he allowed me to go at my pace, and I respect him for that.
Yeah, John says also remember that it's a privilege to be called daddy.
Very much so. Good job. Yeah, I like that. It is a privilege. It's an honor for those kids to want to call me dad. Like I'm honored, I'm humble, I'm appreciative, and seriously, and if they decided not to call me dad tomorrow, I would respect that too. So it is what it is to me. Yes, so we definitely had a few topics for y'all. Hope you enjoyed tonight. We definitely want to leave you with a few final thoughts. So I guess we'll go ahead and announce that The Church Boy with Childhood Trauma, starring myself and the wonderful Tim Watts. We're going to be having an amazing 10-part series starting next Monday, June 5th, starting at 7:30 p.m. So we will be on live every week, every Monday for the next 10 weeks. So consider it like your little summer wind down, where you get to kind of join into these things. We're going to have jam-packed discussions. We're going to be able to talk through you know, the cause, which I'm the cause, and Tam would be the effect when it comes to the church boy with childhood trauma. We're going to unpack so many things. We're also going to talk through not only the trauma aspect, but also the healing aspect as well. So we're going to just really talk through a lot of things. It's going to be interactive. So we just really hope that you enjoy what we have in store. God has ordained all of this for us, and we are just ready, excited to bring you some great things. And in addition to that, we'll still be online doing some of these weekly check-ins as well on Tuesday nights at 8:30 p.m. So definitely lock in, join us. You can join us on Facebook, YouTube, all of our platforms and all of that stuff. So those are my final thoughts. What about you, the wonderful Tam? What you got?
That's it. You didn't give me none of that. I want some of that.
You want some of that?
I wanted some of that. So Mondays, y'all lock in with us for trauma healing. All right. Tuesday, if you guys enjoy the pop culture talk, the recaps for the week, talking about everything that's going on in the world around us, y'all tune in with us. It's going to be, again, 8:30 Central Standard Time. We're talking about Central Standard Time. So wherever you guys are, y'all make sure y'all lock in with us. So Monday, 7:30, Tuesday, 8:30. And we appreciate you guys for locking in with us. We're going to create a whole new channel for Tim and Tam, right? But you guys can catch us wherever you're watching us today. You can still catch us there. But we thank you guys for tuning in with us. And we hope you have a wonderful night. Final thoughts, though. Stop cheating. Stop cheating. Stop with the 50. I'm burnt out with the 50-50 talk. I'm gonna talk about it as long as y'all talk about it, because look, I'm chasing numbers too. But I'm so over the 50-50 conversation. Can we talk about getting to the money, keeping family, legacy, generational blessings? Can we get to that place where we talking about good things and touching the grass, going outside and enjoying the world around us rather than beefing against each other? Y'all see how we're able to do this? A man and a woman having these conversations about healing, growth, and no scarcity mindset. Come on, guys, like get it together. That's the final thoughts for me. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you, Tam. I appreciate it, and I know the viewers do and listeners do as well. Great final thoughts. Hey, go get you a little drink. It's still Memorial Day, so if you guys are still at your cookouts and everything else, enjoy yourself. Please be safe. We look forward to seeing you guys starting next Monday, June 5th at 8:30 on all the platforms. We'll have Tim and Tam Talks as well popping off. So have a blessed night. Look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye.